thank you for joining me on this cold crypto winter's day as we use our SWOT analysis skills to decide whether Coinbase is worthy as an exchange for investors to put their money into. Not so much to buy the coins, but certainly to invest in it as a share or stock, or however you want to put it. So as always, we use SWOT analysis here. This is the strength of the company, the weakness of the company, the opportunity of the market that the company is in, and the threats that market could hold towards the company to decide whether this is a worthy investment for all you amateur retail investors out there. Now, Coinbase is an interesting cryptocurrency exchange. It's been around long enough for it to earn that kind of reputation, like Hoover. That its name is more kind of conducive with what's going on, the type of products it sells. If you say Coinbase, people automatically know you're talking about cryptocurrencies. It's becoming that. It's taking over that whole thing. It's quite a good website, quite a good exchange, quite a good app to use. I've not had any problems with it. I'm sure there's going to be lots of comments underneath saying there are better ones out there, the more worthy ones out there. But from my point of view, this is if you just want to do just cryptocurrencies, or do they do NFTs, but those NFTs aren't available in every market. But if you just want to do cryptocurrencies, it's actually been quite good. That's its primary, I think, strength within the market. Its reputation for being able to just get on with it. I mean, there are other things obviously that go on within this. You can go. There's an educational aspect to it where they'll actually pay you to study the new cryptos that are on there. There's a sheer volume of different cryptocurrencies that are available. That kind of gives it a weight that makes you trust what you're getting there. Obviously, it's not a wallet; it is an exchange, so there are vulnerabilities there. But the Coinbase company in itself feels trustworthy enough, stable enough, that unlike certain recent exchanges, you don't feel like you're going to be putting your money at risk if you put money in there. And therefore, if you're going to invest in it from their share point of view, that's stable in itself, because if they're running the company well, then you can trust that the share price will remain relatively stable. Of course, it's a tech company, and that's not necessarily the case. And this is where we start coming into the problems we've got. It's not very well diversified outside of cryptocurrency. Obviously, it's a specialist company. It just does crypto stuff, as well as NFT stuff, but it's all essentially the same thing. It's all blockchain technology, where things are bought and sold and pushed forward and vice versa. Despite its incredible size, that's basically all you're going to get with this. It's not going to do anything else anytime soon. You're not going to suddenly see it turn around bringing in shares and commodities and various things like that. I mean, if you want something like that, you've got Plus 500, you've got eToro, there are other things out there. The question is the trust in Coinbase affected by the failure in trust of other companies? Now, that's something we'll discuss later on in the weaknesses. But I think that this is where it gets vulnerable for Coinbase, is whether it's able to kind of muster enough expertise and funds just to cover everything. The website does talk about insurance, and say they're insured up to $250,000 for each account that's on there. But ultimately, it's you've just seen the £14 billion collapse in FTX. I don't know whether Coinbase is in a position to be able to shore itself up against massive losses if suddenly everything went down because of some unknown vulnerability, not so much with the technology but with those who are actually running the company. And there generally is the rule of thumb is that we now have to kind of trust that they are good enough to do that. If they are good enough to do that, then that's where they can expand going forward. Now all tech market stocks are down heavily at the moment. Coinbase is one of those. Its share price is basically all the way at the bottom. I think it has hit its own floor. I think once we come out of this crypto winter, once the whole tech ladder starts to be climbed again, and we start seeing other companies rising up, I think investments in crypto will allow profits to increase, and will allow the company to grow further. It's problem with crypto is it's such a relatively new thing in the history of money. That's why trust issues become the main part of what we're always going to be talking about. Now, Coinbase have been really kind of sharp on this. They don't just kind of just see where the politics of the wind go. They actually try to be as legal and as conscious of what they're doing as possible. Now, we saw this when the SEC took Ripple to court. We saw XRP being suspended from being traded. Now, hopefully, this is where the trust issue will come in, is that should Ripple win, Coinbase immediately takes XRP and puts it back on the market without any fuss, without any drama. Just allows people to go back to trading that currency with an open market, because that's basically what it comes down to. Coinbase is going to be carrying, along with some of the other stable exchanges that are out there, but being one of essentially the flagship. I think it's the flagship. It looks like the flagship. It feels like the flagship for current cryptocurrency exchanges. It's going to hold the kind of the necessary reputation for the whole industry. It's carrying a lot. It's quite a burden. Whether they can carry it or not, I don't know. This is where we start looking at bigger issues throughout the whole crypto. How can I put this? It's not just a case of the crypto winter. I mean, the crypto winter came about because obviously there was so much money got poured into into cryptocurrencies from people who had a lot more money during furlough. Basically just kind of speculate on this. People felt like they had to speculate just because they didn't have anything. For some people it worked, and obviously there's a lot of cons that have gone in there. And I think a lot of people who own cryptocurrencies are actually kind of have to play everything long just because everything's dropped down, and obviously the value of their investments have dropped down. Now it's because fiat money isn't that stable. Then it's only fair that cryptocurrency won't be, or any crypto products won't be that stable in regards to its price and its value. And so these are going to change. These are going to be a problem. So for Coinbase to kind of rise on top of that, it needs to stop people from shopping around with other exchanges and make sure it has that trust. Every time some other issue comes up and bites it on the butt, it's going to be the big companies that are going to be affected. It's essentially it's like someone's taken a kind of a crap version of Coca-Cola, and then Coca-Cola itself is then that being blamed and kind of held in contempt for what they've done. That's basically why we're seeing this with this is why basically Coinbase its stocks are always going to be so low. Once there's a stability, I think, within the whole crypto market, once this whole crypto winter is thawed, we stand a pretty good chance of seeing potentially the shares value rise. Now, this is one of those things that I've always said with any tech company, is that really, if they really want to concentrate on the value of the shares, they should be giving dividends out there. All shares and stocks should be giving dividends out there. Everybody should have access to the shares, the profits of that company. And I think with Coinbase, as it expands, as it grows, should it be able to kind of climb on top, I don't see why they shouldn't be giving out dividends. I think that would do wonders for the value of their shares, and I think it would do wonders for people's confidence in the crypto market as a whole.